Hey guys, my name is Emma. I am a Wheaton Warrenville South graduate of the year 2012, and JB asked me if I would make a video of myself doing Showchoir hair for you guys. So, first we're going to start off with your basic supplies that you're going to need. We're going to start off with doing the wall, and then we're going to build the rollers from behind the wall so that you can wake up in the morning and just have your wall there and take out your rollers and do it from there. So, basic supplies. You're going to want bobby pins, preferably ones that match your hair color. So, basic bobby pins, and you can get them from Walgreens in like a big tub, and I would recommend that because you're going to be using a lot of bobby pins. Next thing, you're going to want hairspray. I recommend this one. It's the yellow Got to Be Glued, and same thing, you can get this from a Walgreens, CVS, Target, Walmart. And you can have your basic hairspray as well if you don't want to use this heavy-duty stuff for the wall until the morning. But you're going to want to use this because it holds the curl and the wall really, really well. Next, you're going to want a gel. An instant freeze gel is what you're going to want to look for. There's also one called Hot Sets that works really well. But in the bio below, I've posted a list of supplies. So this is the one that I like to use. It's called Aussie. And that's the instant freeze. Then you're going to want a toothed comb. This is so you can separate the hair while you're doing it and get good lines for your wall. And you're also going to use it for teasing. And then you're going to want a set of sponge rollers. So they will look like this. And depending on how much hair you have, you're going to use different sizes. So I would recommend this size. See, it's kind of like a medium size. And that will give nice, thick, full curls. And you can also, if the hair is getting sparse at the ends, where you still have hair to roll, you can use a smaller size. So here's this little smaller one. That's next to that. You might need to buy 2 kits because you probably will be using a lot of rollers. But some of them come in kits like this. Or you can get the individual sized packages, and they're made by Conair, is the kind that I have. Okay, so we're going to start off with doing the wall. So you're going to want to separate the amount of hair that you want to go into the wall. So usually you want to start from right where your ears, where the point of your ears are, and go up from there. So you have a nice amount of hair, a crown of it. I like to curl my hair before I do it and have it be a little bit dirty. So I wash my hair usually the night before the night I'm going to do it. So that it has a little bit of grit to it so that the curl stays really well. So you're going to want to make sure that your wall starts behind your ears. This is really important so that the judges and the audience can see your full face. Because if you have any hair hanging in front of your face, a famous quote by JB, you will look like a Cocker Spaniel and you will also cut off a large amount of your face. So see how I have it from behind my ear? So I take that and I section it off. And I have that there. And then I also recommend having a ponytail holder so you can get that all into one pony. There we go. And then you can take this hair behind it and separate it away from the wall so that it stays out of your way while you're working. And then I take that pony and I move it to the back hair. Okay. Now that we have our hair for the wall separated, you're going to separate this hair into 2. So I take my comb, and we have this. And I separate the bangs, or the front part, down. Okay. So now I have this hair behind it. And you might need to pull some extra hair from the ponytail, but this should be good. It doesn't need to be perfect. You'll form it perfect once you do it. So now we're going to take this hair and tease the crap out of it. Tease it, tease it, tease it, tease it until it basically can stand on an end on its own. See that? So you just keep teasing it down. This is going to be your base for your wall. I know this part looks crazy, but it's not going to look crazy once we're done. And then you take this front part and you're going to tease that as well from the back. Always go from behind. And it will get looking a little bit crazy, but see how I'm going to shape it with my hands? The more you have it teased and the more up it is, the easier it will be to form it. So see, I'm just taking it with my fingers and forming it back. Then you're going to find kind of a good place. And you want it to be kind of like on the crown of your head back here. We're just going to fold it. And then, kind of looking in the mirror, you want it to be nice and even. So it's going to come a little bit forward in the front. And it comes into kind of a crown shape. So see how I have it? It's not too high and not too low. And then you're going to take your bobby pins, and this is kind of different, but have the edgy part facing or closest to your head. So this is different from what most people do with bobby pins, but it stays a lot better if you have the straight edge on top. And then you're just going to pin right in there. It's all kind of gathered into one spot, and I'm just going to take my pins and keep pinning in the same spot so the pins are kind of overlapping onto each other. And this will get them to stay really well. See how I kind of have this, and you can kind of keep smoothing and taking hair back. There we go. And once you feel like it's secure, you can take your hairspray and just give it a nice, even, smooth spray. And I kind of like to push it so it has this kind of Elvis front here. You don't want it to look like it's straight back. You want it to kind of look like it has a full volume to it. And you want to kind of take the hairs and tuck them behind your ears. If you have little baby hairs that come up, you want to spray them into the wall. So, keys to the wall, lots and lots of teasing, forming with your hands, and there you go. If it gets it all messed up in the night, you can take it out in the morning and reform it, and it will be totally fine. All right. Next, we're going to take our hair out of the ponytail in the back, and we're going to start doing the rollers. So, this is going to be kind of hard to see, but you'll be able to see it better from this side. So, key with the rollers, you're going to want to do it in kind of a mohawk shape. So you're going to want to start with this hair that's in the wall and separate just enough. Oops, I need another bobby pin. Yeah, and as you're pulling hairs for the rollers, you're going to kind of notice some of them might come out. So then you can just re-secure it with some more bobby pins. There we go. Okay. You're going to make yourself a little pile of gel. Wherever you are, you can just put it in a cup, or I'm putting mine on my table because you can wipe it off. But you're going to want to take the hair, not too much, not too little. That's probably pretty good. And it's not that much hair, it's a pretty thin amount. And you're going to take your gel and dab it on your fingers. Not too much, just enough where it's coating your fingers. And you're going to smooth it over the hair. The amount that you use, it should not be too much and not too little, but just enough where the hair is damp. Now you're going to take your roller, like this. You can unhook it and place it behind the curl. You want to put it, or behind the hair. You want to bring it all the way to the end of the hair and wrap the ends around the roller. you want to make sure that you get the full end wrapped in there. And then you just roll it down, like so. And then you want to make sure it's fully tight to your head. So you can wrap it a couple times when it gets to the end, and then secure it in place. And we're going to keep doing that all the way down. So you're going to go right behind that roller, grab it, smooth it with your fingers. If you need to kind of comb it out a little bit, that's good. You want it to be as smooth as possible so that when you take it out of the roller, you have a really nice, smooth curl. Okay. There we go. Same thing. Take a little bit of gel, just enough to coat your fingers, and coat that next one. You want to smooth it all together so that you can hold it by the end and all of the hair will stay in. So even if you have layers, that is totally fine because the gel will form all your hair together. So same thing, get the end in there. My hair is pretty long. So there you go. You roll it down. Same thing, tight against your head. Oops. Sometimes they come off. So you have to kind of find it and re-secure it on. There it is. And attach it. Okay. So I go right behind that one and do the next. Ta-da! A little bit of gel. All the way to the end. I'm going to kind of push it in with my fingers so that it doesn't overlap the end of the roller. There we go. Oops. Fell off again. Your arms will get really tired. So I like to take a minute, kind of stretch my arms out. See how the wall is getting a little bit like that on the side. Secure that in there. Yeah, you kind of want your wall to be more thin on the sides and more full on the top. So a little bit of the look you're going for. Okay. More rolling. Yeah, I don't have a ton of hair. It's pretty fine, but a lot of you probably do. So this is going to be kind of a tedious process. If you have a friend or someone who's willing to go back there and kind of do a few for you, that's good too. Same thing all the way to the end. Roll it down. Make sure they're nice and tight. So if you were to look profile at this, you can kind of see it looks like a mohawk of rollers. So I can't really see behind me, but I can feel what it feels like. Go. Almost done with the first row. So in that first row, I have just like a little bit of hair left. So I'm going to use probably the smaller one. it's kind of good to use some of the smaller ones on the underneath hairs because those are the ones that will be getting sweaty. And so a tighter curl for those will last longer throughout the competition day. Same thing, roll it up. Okay, now on the sides, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to want them to continue back. Okay. Let's do this piece here. So with these, always start it from behind. There we go. So some of these guys are going to get a little lost. You can just take them and tuck them back in there. There you go. Keep going. As tight to your head as possible. That guy got lost. We can just pin him up. Okay. The more rollers in the hair, the better. I'm using kind of thicker pieces of hair just to speed up time. But you're going to want to put as many in as possible. Behind the hair. One more on this side. Just enough so it's damp. You don't want it to be soaking wet. There will be some nights when you might only have 4 or 5 hours for them to dry, depending on how late you get to bed. So if you wake up and they still feel a little bit wet, you can take a blow dryer to it and just put it on a low setting and just do an overall blow dry of it so that they're not wet when you take them out. If they are a little bit damp when you take them, if you're feeling that they're damp while you're taking them out, I would suggest keeping that roller in for as long as possible. Also, always bring a curling iron to competitions because the hair will fall. The more you're teasing it, the more you're touching it, it will fall. So if you have time in between prelims and finals, or if you get to the competition and your hair is already falling, you're going to want to do some little touch-ups with a curling iron. Okay. Rolling it back. Go. Go. You want to get the ends really good so that they form around the roller. I'm going to take the end and just wrap it around and then wrap the rest. Mine are not as even as I would like them to be, but ultimately as even as possible. Go. And if you're feeling around and some of them feel a little bit loose or weird, you can kind of rewrap them. So I'm feeling, one of them feels a little loose in the back. Oops, see, it's already starting to curl. But I'm going to rewrap this one. You want them to be nice and tight, not at all floppy. Really, really tight. Okay, I'll show you from the back. So, as you can see, you have this line down the back, and then on the sides. Not as even as I would have liked, but it will do the trick. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how you can sleep in rollers, because a lot of people wake up with really bad neck pain and that type of thing. So I'll show you from my bed. Okay, so here we are. You're in bed. If you're not a side sleeper, I'm sorry. Here we go. So I take the pillow and I put it up into my neck here. And then I place the rollers on top of the pillow and sleep like this. And on the other side, you can do the same thing. Just have this support inside your neck. Okay. So, I will see you all in 5 hours. Happy sleeping.